Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. This video is going to be from my personal collection, where I want to showcase some of my top favorite female cover art. I love looking at the covers of some comics. They just have real eye appeal to me, and I just that's probably why I like to slab a lot of my comics, because I just want them to be pristine and have that sort of timeless look where they maintain the quality. And I just like to look at the cover. I just like to have it mounted on the wall, or have it on my stands, and I just really enjoy viewing the comic from like just the visual art of the comic itself. So here's my top 10 list. What I did is it's not an order of actually my favorite to least favorite or anything like that. I'm actually going to do it historically. So I'm going to go from the modern age back into the silver age and golden. Actually, there's one golden age comic in this list. So the first one is actually kind of an interesting one. It's actually a very rare comic, but it's just a really nice cover. I just really like the cover. So it is. This is a. It's a Virgin issue, and this one's kind of an interesting comic, mainly because it was so controversial when it came out. So basically, it features the Congresswoman AOC, Ocasio I can't even pronounce her name. Ocasio Cortez, something, Orsando Cortez or something. I'm never going to pronounce her name properly. So sorry to her for destroying her name. But it features AOC. That she's known as AOC because nobody can pronounce her name. Uh, and and it's just not necessarily that I like her as a politician, but she's a very pretty woman. And just they made this cover. It wasn't that she was upset about it. She didn't complain at all. It was actually DC that complained. So if you notice the cover, it looks like she's Wonder Woman. And DC sued this company for copyright. And basically, they had to actually retract this comic. And basically, there was only a few, like maybe a few hundred issues ever printed. And they actually had to recall it because of the fact that DC had copyright claims against it. So it's a very rare comic, and just kind of a cool cover. I just really like the cover art. So that's my first on the list. That's pretty modern. Going back a little bit further is from 2013. This is Afterlife with Archie. I'm not sure if you can see the girl in it. My copy is a signed copy, so, but it's just I don't know. It's a really cool, typical Archie kind of style. I just really like the cover art. It's kind of a little bit sexy, a little bit suggestive, and it's just really kind of a nice cover. So that's Archie, Afterlife with Archie. It's a variant issue, and it's the Andrew Pepwai. Terrible with names. Cover. Okay, it's just a very cool cover. Okay, that's number 2. Going back a little bit further, back to 1995. This is one I really, really like. This is the Bride of Venom, number 3, Sinner Takes All. Venom, Sinner Takes All. And it's just a very sexy cover. And it's also it's just I don't know, it's just a cool cover. It's like, typical kind of sexy Venom, like, sexy Bride of Venom cover. I don't know, I just really like it. So it's just I'm not sure, it's not a particularly rare comic, but it's just I just find the cover very interesting, very sexy. So yeah, nice one from 1995. Going back a little bit further to 1992, I had to have SheHulk on this list. This is a sensational SheHulk. And I'll see if I can remove the glare a bit for you. This is a sensational SheHulk. And this is a very special issue. There's no nudity inside, but they kind of hint at it. It's basically the jump rope issue, and this was kind of a controversial one where She-Hulk was kind of making fun of the fact that she's kind of known as being the sexy character, and this one was like, kind of making fun of that whole situation where he was like, "Oh, do some jump rope with, so people can basically see you being sexy." So it's just a really kind of funny and also a little bit sexy comic where she's barely wearing any clothes. She's just got a newspaper to block. So it's just a kind of a cool cover. It's a kind of a cool comic in general. Um, so going back to 1980, the next one on the list is the Dazzler. It's just this is a really cool cover because 1980 is kind of marking the end of the disco era, and she's just a character that totally embraces the disco elements. She's got the bling going on and that whole 70s sort of early 80s look with the tight pants and just the high collar and stuff like that. She just encapsulates that whole era, and it's just a really cool cover. I like whenever there's a first appearance. This is her first appearance, X-Men 130. Whenever they have a first appearance with the character on the cover like this, where it's a full appearance, I really like it. But this is just a so cool cover in so many ways. So I just personally like this one. So yeah, so that's 1980. Going back to the next era, Red Sonja #1. Now this is not Red Sonja's first appearance, but it's just a cool cover. She's looking all badass and fighting like a little dragon or something at the bottom, and has like a unicorn and a whole bunch of cool things going on, and she's wearing her kind of sexy like chainmail that would do 0 to protect her. It's just a really fun cover, and Red Sonja is kind of like a sexy kind of cool character, but this is really her best early appearance like on the cover. Like her first appearance on cover really isn't that great, but this one is just a really nice cover, so I had to have it slabbed and kind of nice way to present it. So that's from 1977. Going back to 1969 is my next one. This one is this would be my favorite on the list. And this is Vampirella #1. Personally, my favorite of these top 10. This is Vampirella's first appearance. She's my personal favorite character. And originally, when I collected comics, it was her that I collected. I really liked Vampirella. I have pretty much anything Vampirella. And this was a Fazetta cover, so he's just such a brilliant artist, and it's just a really cool comic. The story is kind of silly, and campy. It's kind of fun, but it's just a really cool cover. Just a brilliant art, very sexy, kind of strong, seductive look to her. And this is from 1969, so it's a magazine, but it is one of my favorite covers. It is my favorite cover, actually. So next one on the list is from 1968. And this is Dolphin. Showcase Presents, number 79. And it's just a really great cover, just very beautiful looking, kind of good girl art. And it's just, really great cover. I just really like this cover. It's, her first appearance, and not like she's a major character or anything, but just really nice cover. Very, very hard to find comic, actually. Quite nice to get it and get it in. This is a mid grade, but even in mid grade, it's quite expensive. So yeah, it's just quite nice to have. So girl art from 1968. Now, last on my list, number 10 on my list, and this is another Archie one, and this is my Ginger #1. So Ginger It's just another character from Archie. And this was like her own series. I think it was. I think it lasted 10 issues. It wasn't like it didn't really go that far. And it's from the early 50s. This is in the golden age, and it's just a typical like schoolgirl crush kind of thing, kind of look. It's just really nice artwork too. I wish mine's a fairly high grade. It's like maybe a 5 or 6, but I just wish it didn't have that writing on it. But it's just a really nice cover. I just really like the way this cover pops. It's just very solid. Um, and it's just it's the typical 50s schoolgirl look, that where they're wearing that sweater kind of look, and I kind of like that kind of old schoolgirl look, that 50s style, you know, um, cover art. So yeah, so that's been my top 10 list of my favorite girl cover art. I hope you enjoyed this list. I'd love to hear what you think should have made the list, but I don't have maybe. But you can tell me what your favorite covers are, and yeah, just I'd love to hear about what comics you like in terms of the cover art. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.